Rajev, Pereira. Pereira lets it go. He scores! Kyle Pereira. 22 seconds left in the two-man advantage. It's 3-2 the Battalion. Remain on the power play.
Hi everyone, I'm fortunate enough today to be here with former Brampton Battalion defenseman Kyle Pereira. Thanks for joining me.
Not a problem, anytime.
So we're here at the Powerade Center. What kind of emotions and feelings do you have being back here and taking a look around?
I mean, a lot of memories. I had a great 2.5 years here in Brampton playing for the Battalion. I can't say enough about the organization, and obviously having the chance to play in my hometown was something pretty special. But I think the one kind of moment that stands out was the championship or Eastern Conference championship that we won back my first year in the league, and it was just something so special to be a part of something that will go down in Brampton history, and with that group of guys and how many guys have moved on, it was really something special. Obviously, having been traded to Guelph, it was good. It was a good experience, good change. I also had a great time in Guelph, but to be able to come back, for my last game, at the Powerade Center, and to have that experience to do the ceremony puck drop against Carrick there, and just have all my family and friends and everyone there was pretty special. It was definitely something I won't forget in the near future, and like I said, I can't say enough about Brampton and everything here.
So in your time spent, not just with the Battalion, but in the OHL in general, it's a good part of your life, that early part of your life, where you're learning a lot. So what did you learn, not just, of course, about hockey, but about yourself and the growing aspects of your life?
I think the OHL in general, everyone will say that it kind of makes you grow up. It kind of turns boys into men, per se. It's just, having been here and learning kind of what it's like to be a pro. I mean, the OHL is run like a professional league, and practice every day, and just having to have the discipline and that kind of stuff, and learning to deal with media and that kind of stuff. It's obviously new when you first come in, but all that stuff is a good experience, and then obviously you can't say enough about how much you learn on the ice and develop and that kind of stuff. So it was just, I can't say enough about my 4 years in the OHL. I learned a ton on and off the ice, and it was just, Brampton was a huge part of that, obviously.
Now you've started a new chapter, of course. You're out east in Halifax playing for St. Mary's University, the Huskies. How did that all come to be playing out there?
It was obviously a tough decision. As my last year in the OHL, last year in Guelph kind of started to wind down, I had a lot of decisions to make as far as playing pro or going to school and that kind of stuff. I decided to go to school. I don't regret my decision at all. It's with the OHL comes a free education, and I know that education is obviously important, and I wanted to take advantage of that. And then after that, the decision obviously was tough. I went on some visits and did that kind of thing. But obviously, Halifax or St. Mary's kind of won out. I went there on a visit, and I loved the city. The people were very nice, and obviously, the hockey program is excellent too. So it just kind of seemed like a win-win situation, and something I couldn't really turn down.
You were born in the GTA, spent most of your life in Brampton, a couple years in Guelph, which is still so close by. So how is that different from the life you've always known out here?
Yeah, it was definitely different. When I got traded to Guelph, it was kind of my first time living away from home, and it was only 40 minutes down the road. So, being across the country was a bit of an adjustment, but at the same time, it's been an awesome experience. Everyone in Halifax has been awesome. The coaches, teammates, all that kind of stuff have been great, helping me with the transition. And just the city in general is awesome. The people are very nice. It's almost kind of like a different mentality out there. It's just everything's kind of more relaxed. There's not as much kind of hustle and bustle as there would be around Toronto or something like that. So it's nice. School's good. Like I said, teammates, coaches, everyone have made things awesome, and it's just, I can't say enough about Halifax.
Now, I know you're quite the smarty pants, so don't deny it when I say this. You always have been here, winning several awards in the OHL. So what are you taking out there now?
I'm taking business. I'm not sure what I'm gonna major in yet. That'll be a decision I make towards the end of this year or beginning of next year. But yeah, I've been taking business. I'm enjoying it so far. That's kind of what kind of classes I was taking while I was going to school part-time. During during my OHL career. So just kind of stuck with that, and like I said, I'm not really sure what I want to kind of focus on or major in, but it's going well so far.
You now have on your team another former OHLer, Michael D'Orazio, a fellow defenseman who finished his career with the Mississauga St. Michael's Majors. What's it like playing with him?
Oh, he's obviously he's a great guy, and he's been one of the guys that's kind of really helped me along. Transitioning from the OHL to school. Obviously, he'd been through it all and stuff. So, but it's nice having a guy that you competed against for a few years and played against, and now kind of being on his side and playing with him and getting to know him and stuff. Obviously, he's a great player, but he's an even better guy, and he's helped me along. He's helped me along a lot, and it's nice to have him around.
It's always nice having familiar faces. Did you know about this beforehand, or did you, kind of join the team and see him and go, hey, this is going to work out great, sort of thing?
No, I think it's one of those things where you kind of, there's a mutual kind of respect. You don't maybe not know them personally, but you've played against them long enough where you know who each other are, kind of thing, and then obviously that's a bit of a common ground that you can get to become friends off of. And Mike, and there's a lot of other OHL guys too that are out at same areas, and obviously we all have that same kind of connection with all of them, and they've all been good and helped me along. So that, I guess, familiarity going out there was definitely something that helped me out.
Hockey isn't the only sport you've been playing for pretty much your whole life. You've been playing lacrosse as well from a very young age.
Yeah, definitely. When I was growing up, I always had a good balance between hockey and lacrosse. As hockey season was winding down, I couldn't wait for lacrosse, and vice versa. So I played lacrosse my whole life. In the summers. When I got to be my OHL draft year, after I got drafted, I kind of had to make a choice between hockey and lacrosse, and obviously I chose hockey and played in the OHL for 4 years. But it's kind of ironically, my coach I had the last year that I played, Mike Miles, kind of got me back into it when Brampton got a junior B team this summer, and he convinced me to play. And I obviously owe him a lot because I didn't expect the summer to turn out the way it did. But I'm happy I got back into lacrosse, and I'm having a lot of fun with it.
We're going to talk more about that a little bit later, but first, I want to talk about how you said playing with junior B, and you got called up to play in the major series lacrosse with the Brampton Excelsiors. What exactly happened there? Yeah,
I was playing junior B, and to be honest, when I first started playing, that's what I thought I would be. Thought I was going to be playing junior B for fun and have a summer because I missed the game. And like I said, it turned into a bit of a whirlwind. I got called up to the junior A's a little bit, and then to be able to get the chance to get called up and ultimately finish the season with the major MSL Excelsiors was. It was a dream come true. I've grown up in Brampton watching them win Man Cups and stuff like that, and so to have the opportunity to get called up for one game even was pretty amazing, and then to be told that I was staying for the year was definitely a great feeling, and it was something that I won't forget, that's for sure.
This is something we do see often, hockey players who are very good at their sport transitioning to lacrosse, box lacrosse specifically, and doing quite well. Now, the sports are similar, but there are definitely some differences as well. So why do you think they're able to transition so well?
I don't know, like you said, the games are similar in a lot of ways. It just seems like it's a good alternative, or not alternative, but they complement each other. It's nice to get a change, when hockey season ends, and the same thing when lacrosse season ends. But yeah, the games are pretty similar, obviously with hand-eye coordination, all that stuff, and just competing. Obviously, the physicality and that kind of stuff is similar. So, all athletes, and obviously hockey players, lacrosse players, we like to compete, and lacrosse and hockey both, give us that opportunity to be physical and battle, and it's very similar, and I think they work well together.
Well, that kind of leads into my next question. You mentioned the hand-eye coordination, some of the similarities. What is it about hockey or lacrosse that can really benefit each other? Of course, the biggest difference, just looking at it, one is on skates and one isn't.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, one's up and one's down kind of thing. But the hand-eye coordination is huge, and the same thing. Your hands, you're holding the stick differently, but I think it helps your hands, and then your vision and passing and all that kind of stuff. Like obviously in lacrosse, you're holding your stick up, but ultimately with your vision and looking and using your teammates and that kind of stuff in your hands, I think it might not be identical, but I think there's definitely a correlation and a benefit in playing lacrosse and hockey to the other sport.
We had the opportunity to go and be a part of the 2012 National Lacrosse League Draft. You, of course, were picked 25th overall. It was a third choice by the Toronto Rock. Where were you when you found out? Of course, you were in Halifax, but what was going on when the moment you found out?
Actually, I had an idea towards the end of the summer that that the possibility was there of me getting drafted. Obviously, I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen, but the night of the draft, I was actually at home in Halifax with a couple of guys on my team, who were there kind of supporting me and stuff, and we were just watching online and following along. Not just for me, but obviously I had guys that I played with and against that I knew that were buddies of mine getting drafted also. So it was interesting to watch, but having my name called and having it be by the Toronto Rock was obviously something really special, and it was just a great feeling.
Replay your reaction for us of what exactly went on the moment you heard your name called.
Yeah, it was interesting. I didn't really know how to react, to be honest. I was kind of just sitting there in my lazy boy hanging out watching the computer, but it was. I think every time the Rock kind of came up and we're making a pick, I tensed up a little bit, obviously, because growing up and watching the Rock win championships, you always kind of hope that that's the team that's going to take a chance on you. So so they came up in that pick, and again, I kind of just was pretty anxious and tensed up a little bit, and then when I heard them say my name.
25th selection, Toronto selects Kyle Pereira from Brampton.
It was something pretty special, and I don't think you could wipe the smile off my face.
I remember being there at the time when you were drafted, seeing the number of tweets. A lot of hometown fans and a lot of former Battalion players were tweeting as well. And we had a conversation afterwards. You said, truly, genuinely, you had no idea this potential was there for you. You had no idea lacrosse could be a part of your life the way it is, but you were so happy that you stuck with it and that it is now. Why didn't you have that confidence in yourself?
Oh, I mean, like you said, I never, ever, if you'd have said at the beginning of last summer when I started playing, Junior B for fun, I never would have imagined that, any of this kind of would have played out the way it did. I took kind of 4 or 5 years off the game and came back purely to have a fun summer of lacrosse in my last year of junior. Obviously, it translated into success in Junior B. Got the chance in Junior B or Junior A. Did well, and then again, getting called up to major, and then being told that I was staying there was. It was amazing. I had a good year there. I learned a ton from the coaches and the other players and stuff like that. But I thought I was going to be playing 20 Junior B games for fun. It's just to enjoy lacrosse, and it turned out to playing almost 50 games of lacrosse and getting drafted. So it was hard work and it was tough at times, but I couldn't be happy with my decision to get back with lacrosse.
Looking at it now, even if you weren't drafted with the Toronto Rock, it's safe to say lacrosse would have still been a part of your life in some form. We will see you back in the summer 2013 with the Brampton Excelsiors.
No, definitely. I mean, it was always a sport that I had a lot of passion for. It was tough when I had to make that decision to focus on hockey kind of thing. It was tough, and I always missed lacrosse. So, now that I'm back into it and kind of got right back in the swing of things last summer, I think regardless of what happened with the draft, the passion's there to play, and I would be back regardless, playing with hopefully the major Excelsiors this year, or playing somewhere. So this draft obviously kind of changed things in that sense, where it's kind of fuels the fire even more, and obviously I want to have more success and hopefully crack the Rock in the next couple of years. But it's the passion's there, and I'm not looking to give it up anytime soon, that's for sure.
You had mentioned, of course, that growing up, this isn't just the case for you, but for a lot of people growing up, Toronto Rock was their team to follow when it came to lacrosse. So what is it about this team, other than being a home team, that is such a good fit for you and the way you play?
Well, I mean, obviously, as far as being a kid and growing up watching the Rock, it's to be able to be drafted there is awesome. I watched them win championships, and I went to countless games at the ACC. So that obviously in and of itself was a dream come true. But As far as my game, I think I've talked to the Rock, and they know kind of my situation. At St. Mary's, they're awesome about that. They actually gave me the opportunity over my Christmas break here from school to kind of learn and be a part of it and their training camp and that kind of stuff. So I've learned a lot. But they're just an awesome organization as a whole. They're working with me and kind of helping me along, even though I kind of have a bit of a juggling act to do here while I'm at school. But they've been awesome, and I'm just looking forward to moving forward and hopefully being a bigger part of the organization.
You did have the opportunity as well to travel with the team and get to throw the ball around in some of the exhibition play. Talk about that experience a little bit.
Obviously it was an awesome experience to kind of go there and spend the weekend in Montreal and just learn. Being a young guy on the team and having taken years off the game, obviously it was beneficial for me to just go and kind of take it all in. I didn't get in to play the game, but I think ultimately the weekend still was huge for me, and just to be able to, like I said, watch and kind of observe those older guys who've been in the league and who've done it, and just how they carry themselves and how they beat pros was good for me. And then just to be able to get my stick back in my hands, at a serious kind of level, obviously was nice. It's not the same as just kind of passing and catching in Halifax, but it was nice to get back into it and compete a little bit and stuff like that. So it was awesome. I can't say enough about my time with the Rock over the Christmas break, and I look forward to moving forward and hopefully having more success there.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Was it great to be back?
Yeah, it was awesome. It's nice to be back at the bunker, and thanks for having me.
Can we expect you back again? Maybe in the summertime we'll do another one?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I'll be back around, that's for sure. Not too far from here, and this was my home for a long time, so I'll be back and hopefully playing lacrosse. So.
Thank you very much once again for joining me. It was great having you again, everyone. That was Kyle Pereira.